Hi, everyone. So we're going to cover the games that were played on June 3rd. We have the Indiana Fever against the Mystics, and then we had the Lynx against the Mercury, and then Seattle against Dallas. They were all pretty good games at most of the time. Well, the Lynx pulled away late in the game, but that one was close early on. So the Fever ended up winning the game by a score of 85-76, and it was neck and neck in the beginning, 19-18 in the first, and then 19-16 by halftime. So Indiana had a slight lead, but the Mystics were hanging in there. Then the Fever opened up a 10-point third quarter, and the Mystics made a run in the end. Mostly with Brittany Sykes and Citron, but it was not enough to overcome the lead that the Fever had built. And the Fever were led by mostly Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell had, let's see here, 24 points. She shot 50% from the floor, and then she also shot 57% from three, so that was good. And then Lexi Hull had 14. She came on in the third quarter. She hit some threes, and then she had some drives and dishes and a couple of hoops by the basket. So she shot 66%, almost 67% from the field, and then 50% from three. So that was really good. And then they had just acquired Ari McDonald, and she contributed. She had 7 points and 5 assists. So good for her. She came on the team to help out and was a contributor right off the bat. Aaliyah Boston had 10 points. She was 5 for 5 from the floor, so all of her shots down near the hoop were, she made all of them. And, that's what you have to do. When you're a big and you're near the hoop, you got to make those. And there's been too many times where in games this year where I've seen the big players aren't hitting those, like with consistency. So that was good for Indiana, and they pulled out the win. And then as far as the Mystics went, Brittany Sykes had 20, Kiki Irifin had 20. They both played really well. Shakira Austin had 10, and Sonia Citron had 13. And they shot well, but they had that lull in the third quarter that kind of did them in. That was what basically won the game for the Fever. And, it was nice to see the Fever get a win. And we'll see what happens. I don't know how much longer Caitlin Clark's going to be out, but, they have proven that they can, they brought in another player and they made some adjustments and they got the win. And, the Mystics, they look good at times, but they're just not, they're not getting the wins. But I think as time goes on for them, I think they're going to get stronger down the stretch because you have Citron and Irifin, and they're rookies, but they're playing pretty well. So if they can improve on their game, I think that the Mystics are going to, unless something drastic happens, they're going to, I think their not shooting percentage, their winning percentage will go up. So on to the next game. And that was the Minnesota Lynx against the Phoenix Mercury. And the Minnesota Lynx went back to form, I guess you could say. They won 88-65. And they were actually losing in the first, and then doubled them up. Phoenix scored 12 in the second, and Minnesota scored 25. So that brought them back and took a lead by halftime, and then they just outscored them for the rest of the game. They were just too much for Phoenix. Although there were some bright spots with Phoenix. Lexi held has been playing well for Phoenix. She ended up with, let's see here, 16 points. She was their leading scorer for this game. She's been hustling. She's been shooting pretty well. So let's see. Yeah, she shot 50% from the floor. She looked good in this game, and she's been looking good. She caught my eye a few games ago. Really nice player. Just hustle and keeps defensive pressure on. Makes some nice passes. Satu Sabali was 0 for 5 from 3 and shot 37% from the floor. They need her to improve on her shooting percentage. She goes at it, but she misses a lot. So she's missing more than she should be. And then Laska, she played well last game. She had another 10 points for Phoenix. But, it's really hard to beat Minnesota. They're so good. And then McBuckets is back. I mean, let's see what she didn't really score that much until the second half, but she shot 62% from the floor and 60% from 3. And let's see, Alana Smith shot 83%. She was 5 for 6, and hers are, close to the basket most of the time. But she also took 4 3-pointers, and she was 3 for 4, so she was 75% from that. It's like the New York game. I'm looking at percentages here that, rival the New York game against Connecticut. You have Samuelson, she was 3 for 3 from the field, and then 3 for 3 from 3. So, you can't do much better than that. And then Heidemann came on in that stretch. Heidemann came on really strong. She had some drives to the hoop, and she was 7 for 10 from the field and 50% from 3. And then Collier was just being Collier. She shot, she didn't have any threes, but she was 61% from the field. She had that nice, like middle of the key kind of turnaround jumper. That's so pretty. And she was 8 for 13. And, Minnesota was just too much for the Mercury. Let's see here. What do we got? Okay, so Collier had 18. Alana Smith had 13. McBride had 13. Heidemann had 18. Good, strong game for Heidemann. Let's see. Courtney Williams, she only had 6 points, but she was really good in the game, the last game. So Heidemann took over some of the duties. Carly Samuelson had 9. So I guess the 3 for 3 is the 3-point shot, not necessarily, for all of her shooting when they put that in there, because otherwise she'd have more points than that. But anyway, this was a good game until the third, and then Minnesota just took over. But it makes me feel good about the Valkyries. I mean, the Valkyries hung with them the whole game, and Valkyries lost by 11. So, the Valkyrie, after going through New York and Minnesota, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Valkyries. So, but we'll see how that goes. They got a game against Phoenix. I fully expect them, especially without Alyssa Thomas, I expect the Valkyries to beat Phoenix. But we'll see. It's in Phoenix. And, what is showing in a lot of these games is it depends on who's hitting their shots. And whoever's hitting their shots, they're the ones that are, going to win. And then the final game that I'm going to cover, which was played on Tuesday, which was Seattle and Dallas. Poor Dallas, they've only got 1 win. But they were in this game. Seattle's 4-4, and they ended up winning 83-77. And Dallas was, they were leading for, I think it was until the third quarter. Hold on, let me look at this. Yeah, Dallas outscored Seattle 20-19 in the first, then 18-11 in the second. So they had a lead at halftime. It was, 38-2. They had a 10-point lead at halftime. So, but then, Seattle just poured on the Jets in the second half. They outscored them 24-17 and 29-22 in the third and fourth quarters. and that's what won them the game. So, Gabby Williams, last 2 games, Gabby Williams has been playing just terrific. She is, I mean, she shot like 5 for 7 from the floor last game. She wasn't as good this game, but she was 6 for 13, which is still 46%. And she had 18 points this game. And then Erica Wheeler, again, Erica Wheeler is, I've been really happy with what I'm seeing from Erica Wheeler. She ended up having 11 points. She only played 24 minutes. She was there in the second half. NECA had 14. Skylar Diggins had 9. Skylar Diggins was really struggling the last game. But it looks like she was a little better this time. But she's still not, she didn't hit a 3 in this game either. But Erica Wheeler, she was like a nice little spark plug. The last game I covered that they were playing, I mean, she got like just 3 major collisions, and came through and, almost pulled that game out against Vegas. And she took it right to Asia Wilson. And then this game, she was, she hit a couple of 3s. Let's see what she was. Oh, I guess she didn't. Oh, I'm thinking of the last game. She was driving to the hoop this game and got to the foul line. That's what the 3 for 4s. That's from the foul line. But she was really good. And then our rookie, Malonga, she got a couple passes from Erica Wheeler. And those were, really nice, drive to the hoop and then find the big girl. And there she was. And Dallas, they look pretty good, but, they can't seem to come away with a win. Carrington was really playing well. She shot 42%, but it's not all the time. It's like she has spurts where, defensively she plays well all the time, but she'll have spurts where she'll score and then like nothing. And she'll go cold. And it's not like she's even attempting to shoot. So Maddie Segrest, she was 5 for 15. She missed a bunch of those down low. And then Smith, she was 1 for 7. Right there is showing you your underneath people not making their shots. Let's see what else here. Okay. But Hines Allen had a nice game. She was 6 for 9, 66% from the floor. And let's see, points wise, yeah. Carrington had 22 points. And Hines Allen had 16, and Maddie Segrest had 11. But that was, everybody else is like 2, 4, and 6. So, Dallas needs more contributors. They need more people than just 1 or 2 people to contribute. That's the thing that makes New York and Minnesota so good. They have, they have Nafisa Collier on Minnesota, but they also have McBuckets, they have Alana Smith, they have Heidemann, they have Courtney Williams. That's what makes them so hard to stop, is they have multiple people that can score, and at any time. So it's really hard defensively to be able to stop all 5 starters. I mean, you have to have massive team defense to be able to even slow them down. And the only thing that I think beats these teams is if they have a poor shooting night. But the same thing with New York. I mean, New York has, UNESCO, it has Phoebish, and then it has Jonquil Jones and Brianna Stewart. And, and Cloud. And, those are all great players. And any one of them can go. I mean, I was shocked to hear that Natasha Cloud got her first Player of the Week a couple of weeks ago. In her career, she's been such a good player. They won the championship with Elena Deladon a few years ago, back in 2019. And she was their point guard. So I also wanted to look at the standings and see how things are shaping up so far. So you can see the standings here. We have Minnesota at 8-0, New York at 7-0, Atlanta is 5-2, Vegas is 4-2, Phoenix is 5-3, Seattle's 4-4. Indiana's 3-4. The Mystics are 3-5. The Valkyries are 2-4. Chicago is 2-4. Get this. And then the Sparks are 2-6. What does that say? 6. And Connecticut Sun's 1-6, and the Wings are 1-7. It's amazing because I think these two are the Liberty and the Lynx are far and away the two best teams. But then you have kind of a middle group here that I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Atlanta's been playing very well. Vegas is starting to come around. They're going to be up there. And then Phoenix, Seattle, Indiana, Washington, and the Valkyries. These, the Valkyries are 2-4, but they just had the two tough. They played 3 of their games against these two teams. So, they're going to have, for lack of a better word, a favorable schedule coming up. I don't think they're playing them for a little while. So you're looking at playing all these other teams, and I'm expecting them to get some wins here. So I think they're going to be up in this, in this area, which, is, we'll see what happens as the season goes on, but, I think they're going to be right there in the mix. And, unless some major injuries happen, and then you also have the Eurobasket thing, but I think there's I thought I saw that Julie Van Loo is not leaving, and Linskins, but Linskins isn't playing very much, so but we'll see what happens there. And Indiana will get Caitlin Clark back. That's going to help them. Seattle's hit and miss. They play great sometimes, and then, they're 4-4. I would think that they'd be better off than they are right now. And Phoenix, they're missing Alyssa Thomas, and they're missing, Copper. So I don't know how much longer they're going to be out. They look pretty good at times, and then, but then they have some losses. So, and then the Mystics. The Mystics look pretty darn good, but they're just not getting it done. They've got to learn how to finish. Chicago, they've been looking better lately. So we'll see where that goes, if they can get the team to mesh together. And then the Sparks look, I don't know. They have talented people on that team, and they should be better than this, but they're not coming through. They're not finishing either. And then Connecticut and Dallas, they're going to have to figure some stuff out. I'm not sure what they're going to do there. But they're Connecticut's coach doesn't sub enough, I think, and get people, when people are not hitting, take them out. Take them out and put someone else in. Give yourself a different shot. So anyway, that's the status of things as of June 3rd. And we're going to be doing our play, game, player, and surprise of the week later today with my friend Lisa D. And we're going to go over some of those things. This is going to be hard to pick. I looked through a lot of these games. It's going to be hard to pick some of these plays and play of the week. But we'll come up with something. Anyway, we got more games coming up on Thursday and Friday and the rest of the week. Okay, everybody, have a good day.